Hello, my name is Pat, and I am the guy behind Southern Handmade. I thought today I would be bold and actually record some audio commentary over the top of my footage on making this cool Goomba, so I hope you like it, and here we go. So you can see me starting here by building the shapes of the Goomba using aluminum foil. So this was really big for this project because you want to make sure that the scale is quite right, and actually you'll realize, you'll see at the end, I actually ended up cutting it a bit because I actually made the headpiece a bit too long. So I'm just folding them up, trying to make the shapes and measuring them out to form the body. There's 4 pieces, the headpiece, the body piece, and 2 feet, and they should be coming together in just a second. So we're going to start by putting a thin layer of clay over top of each of the pieces and trying to smooth it together. A big part of this project is going to be an attempt to get it as smooth as possible. I'm still a bit of an amateur when it comes to that, so I give it a shot, but to get started, we're going to put that clay on. So I'm using a technique here to try to smooth it. I'm new to this technique, but basically you use a fine tool to rub along the edge to get rid of the high highs and to make it really smooth. So this is a guitar string that I put inside a metal tube and pinched, and I'm using the roughness of that edge to try to get it as smooth as possible. So I'm working along, trying to get everything at the same level, and then I'll go back over it with my thumb to try to smooth it all together. And I'll do that on this piece, and I think there might be footage of the rest. The most unfortunate part of this, again, is I'm going to end up chopping off the top of this guy, so I sort of ruined all of this. But I thought you'd want to see it now, because I didn't copy any of the footage of doing it on the later piece. So roughly in here, once I've got it all smooth, I started to put the head and the body together, and I realized that the head is way too tall for what a Goomba ends up being. A Goomba is sort of round at the bottom and not nearly as tall as I had it. So, took a knife and cut my way through it, worked my way through, and then started to do the repair job in order to smooth it back over. You know, making things is always difficult. You always feel critical of the work that you're doing. I'm sure if you're someone who makes stuff, you've felt that way before. And I've learned from working with clay that sometimes you just have to be ready to tear it all apart and put it back together. And that's what I had to do here. And I think it was for the best, even though I had just done all that work trying to smooth it out. I had to do it all over again. But I think it made the end project look that much better. A large portion of the section really is just tearing it apart and putting it back together because I want it to look just right. And I don't know if I get exactly there in the end, but I think the chops that I do, the time I take to sort of destroy it, to put it back together, really helps make the final thing look better. So with that, the body being done, now I'm trying to put together the details, which is really just the mouth with the 2 sort of fangs and then the eyes and the eyebrows. So I start with the mouth, putting in the top lip and trying to smooth it in so that it's blended nicely to the rest of the face. And then once that is put together and looking naturally a part of the face, I put the bottom part of the lip together. And I'm just sort of rolling out these thin sort of layers of clay. It doesn't have to be perfect at this point because ultimately I'm going to be doing a lot of blending to try to make it look more natural, and I'm gonna have to put those teeth into it. So really this is just about getting that basic shape and feeling good. The mouth really has like a hook to it, so it hooks upwards. It's a sort of underbite, so you want to make sure that lip is nice and full above. And then of course we got to build these fangs to go into the edges. So you see me sort of rounding the edge so that there's lip to go around the tooth once it's ready, putting the tooth in, and then sort of adding the detail to smooth in its location. So we're pushing it in, giving it a little bit of shape. And then finally, there we go. And again, you'll see me sort of working on smoothing a bit. And now I'm working on the eyes. So I use my thumb to just get a little bit of a sense of where they would be. And I'm going through with the tool, trying to make those eyes live underneath the rest of the face. And so I am working with a reference image, trying to just sort of follow along with it. You can't see it in this video, but we're now working on smoothing those eyes out, making sure they're the right shape. And you'll notice I don't do a full circle. That's because there's going to be the eyebrows that go over top of the eyes. And I wanted to leave that there sort of for reference for me of where the eyebrows need to start and end on either side of the eye. And so with those eyes, we now work on making eyebrows. Take 2 equal pieces of clay and begin to sort of shape them into, not quite a Z, but an angular shape. Sort of like a Z if you sort of pulled it out and flattened it, with a wider end at the top and narrow end at the bottom. Placing those eyebrows. Again, I go back in and try to make the eyes look nice. Once those eyebrows are on top. And bang, bang, boom. I think we are finished our Goomba. I do a little bit more work of smoothing it off camera. But then, of course, it's time to paint. And I painted it up with a nice Goomba skin tone, some browns, and here we go. And here's my Goomba. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, please hit the like button and subscribe. That'd be great. I am trying to grow this channel slowly but surely. I do tutorials every Tuesday, and then these big builds come out, every so often when I have the opportunity to do it. I hope you enjoy it, and have yourself a great day.